If you are here, thank you so much for backing yourself and looking for a coach. If you are so tired of the exhaustion of waking up with that constant feeling in the whole of your bones and your body, of that overriding anxiety that makes it near impossible for you to be able to function, if you are tired of the exhaustion, if you're sick of looking in a million different places and trying every self-help tool and modality possible, then congratulations for being here. I'm going to walk you through exactly how you and I are going to work together to not just put another Band-Aid over what's going on, because that's actually how the mental health system works, is we tend to use a lot of Band-Aids. I am not about Band-Aids. I am about curing the issue for good. Now, to be able to do that, and with all of the searching that you've done with different therapies or herbal remedies, or is it yoga, is it meditation, what's the actual cause? Until we actually get down to what the actual cause is, most of what you're doing or you're looking for, you might not even need. So one thing that I do very, very well, most therapists don't do very, very well, and usually you would need 4 or 5 different therapists to do the kind of assessment that I do, to be able to actually just get into the core of what is driving this. Now, for some people it's physical, for some people it's mental, for some people it's their past, it's emotional, and for some people it's just a lack of zest for life, a loss of direction, and a separation from fulfillment. Now, for you it could be all of those things, or it could just be one key driver that is push the anxiety that then can lead to depression. And I want to be clear about this. With depression, it's not possible with depression that anxiety didn't exist first. Okay, so my job, and it's not your job, on the call when we get together, you'll complete a very quick quiz that's going to give you a bit of an overview. And what we're going to do is, the number one thing is to get to the core. Now, most people tell me that an hour with me is worth 4 therapy sessions with a naturopath, with a GP, with a therapist, to be able to just pinpoint what is actually driving this, and then we can get to work on healing it through action, through tools, very, very quickly. So with the constant overthinking, the worry that literally gets to the point of panic, of not being able to sleep, of waking up feeling exhausted, I understand and know all of those symptoms because I used to have them myself. So the first thing that I'm going to give you on this call is answers, okay? I'm going to give you clear answers as to actually what's going on with you, okay? Because going and looking for help when you feel the way that you do can sometimes cause more anxiety or more depression, because it's quite an exhausting journey. So the first thing is, I want to give you clear answers. The second thing is, we must be able to give you immediate physical relief. Okay, if I can't get your body to a point where you're sleeping well, where you have energy, where you have focus, where that vitality is going to come back, then it's almost impossible to be able to work on any of the other areas that may or may not need to be worked on. So the first thing is, I'll explain to you with the kit that I use exactly how we get physical relief. I've proven it, I've done it with thousands of people. It took me years to refine it. It's very simple, but it is the actual right natural, not Band-Aids, natural supplements and herbs and daily activities. Very, very clearly laid out, that is just going to tell you step by step what to do every day. The second thing that we're going to talk about and look at is how you work this thing. We're never taught at school. We're not taught how do we work our mind. And it doesn't matter how many self-help books you've read, it doesn't matter how much awareness you have, if you don't have physical tools to use in the moment, when your thoughts are driving you crazy, when the overthinking is going off, when the fear is there, whether that fear is real or not, we need to know how to work this. We need to know how to transform the relationship that we have to the emotional roller coaster and the storms that show up, and also what we're telling ourselves. Now, you might be crucially aware or not aware at all, but the one thing that we do need to look at is, what mind tools do you have that you're equipped with that are actually helping you get the calm that you need on the spot? Okay, and I'll walk you through a process of exactly how we learn this and how quickly we can change up the habits that we've built here so that we can actually get the inner calm that we're seeking. The next thing that I look at is emotionally, with your beliefs, with your patterns, with what's happened in your past, with trauma. Some people don't have any of this, and some people do. So we have to look at emotionally what needs to be healed. Now, emotionally, I tend to work with energetics, and I'll explain all of that to you on the call, because I find that digging back and peeling the onion through all of our thoughts, all of our experiences, all of the emotions, where do they come from? I find it can take years. You probably pay off your therapist card doing that. You're probably done with that, which is why you typed in coach, not therapist. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what I know works in terms of emotional healing and past healing. Then we're going to look at your level of purpose, direction, fulfillment, what goals you have, what is the vision for your life. Have you put a ceiling on that vision? Have you put those dreams into a box somewhere and we're not even looking at them anymore because it's not, even something that you can think about? But I really want to look at whether you're in alignment or out of alignment with your own passion, your own purpose, your own skills, how you show up in the world, and how it is that we shift from who we believe that we are into the greatest version of ourselves very quickly. Then we also have to look at faith, trust, surrender, what you believe in that's greater than yourself. So there's all of these areas that we're going to talk about on this call, which is free, so that I can give you a thorough direction. Now, when it comes to my coaching process, there are multiple options that you can choose, and it will depend on your budget, the time that you have available, and how much one-to-one accountability, support, and coaching you want, or whether you're willing to take my online program and do it yourself. So number one, I have a brilliant online program. It's not just me, some of the greatest thought leaders in mental health in the world that I've trained under, worked alongside. That 2-month program is there for you, as well as whatever support that you need. I also can do a quick holistic assessment with you that's very thorough, set you up with exactly what you need to be doing physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you can dive into that program and get the tools that you need. Next, we can do a 30 or a 60-day deep dive. Okay, if you work with me, my coaching style built over the last 2 decades, I'd like to work quickly. I'm not about long frameworks. I'm not about talking about things. Yes, of course we talk. I'm more about tools and action. So once we get on the call, we'll decide exactly what it is that's going to work for you. Now, in terms of who is talking to you, my name is Heidi Shannon. I have been predominantly a mental health coach for the last 12 years. Before that, I worked as a business coach and consultant, but I was never actually coaching anyone on their business. Now, if we backtrack before those coaching days, I actually took a very, very severe mental health crash, severe agoraphobia, depression, suicidal anxiety in my early 20s. I was always an anxious kid. I never understood what anxiety was until I had my first panic attack and a complete crash. And that's what has actually led me to being here with you. So that big crash that I took, which was physical, mental, and emotional, took me on a journey all around the world, looking at every single framework and modality. I felt that the mental health system wasn't for me and failed me miserably very quickly. And so I went on this journey of obsessive or excessive study and integration into my own life, and then into the lives of others when I birthed one of the world's first holistic and natural mental health treatment and healing centers, where all of the amazing results that you see on this page and many more on my website, if you want to take a look, came from that retreat. So essentially what I'm doing now with you online from anywhere in the world, my clients are all over the world from all walks of life, is taking you on that transformational journey. And this is really important. It is a transformational journey. This is not about what's wrong with you. This is about completely and utterly transforming from the inside out life as you know it. Okay? You will not look back. Life will never be the same. And depending on how deep you want to go into what I teach you, with either my support or doing it yourself, I can guarantee you 100% results if you take the tools and do them in the order exactly as I lay them out, okay? So this is a tools-based process. So I tend to be able to see what others can't. That is my gift from working with more than 3,000 clients over more than 10 to probably 15,000 hours now. I run more than 400 mental health retreats. So I tend to have a lot of experience with a beautiful team of holistic therapists around me that I've worked with and trained under to see what you can't and see what others have missed. And I get how frustrating that is. So all you need to do is jump on a call. We're going to nut this out together. There's a quick quiz that I send you before, which is going to show us exactly what it is that you need and desire. And we will get started pretty much straight away with whatever option works for you. Book yourself a call below. Can't wait to meet you, and let's get rid of this issue for good.